There's more fallout tonight from the IAEA's explosive report about Iran's nuclear capabilities. This, as Israel calls for global action against Iran to prevent it from developing nuclear weapons. Could we be on the brink of another war in the Middle East? Michael Scheuer, former CIA operative, former head of the Bin Laden Unit, author of Osama Bin Laden, joins us now. Michael, as always, welcome back to Freedom Watch.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, Michael, how did we get here? How did this report come out now? How did we suddenly come to the conclusion that Iran is developing nuclear weaponry? Have we known about this for years, or is this timed for some reason?
You know, I don't know if it's timed or not, Judge, but certainly the Iranians are trying to develop a nuclear weapon. They'd be stupid if they weren't. They've spent the last 25 years threatening people and having people threaten them in response. And all of the people that threaten them are mostly nuclear powers. So I think we have to assume that the Iranians are going to get a weapon.
The Israeli government and certain lobbying groups are encouraging the United States and even Europe and the whole Western world to impose some sort of sanctions on Iran. Now, what would happen, Michael, if, for example, the American government did its best to shut down the central bank of Iran or some clearinghouse vital to the Iranian economy because of what some people in the government are doing?
Well, I think probably, Judge, what would happen is what happened in Iraq, is that the government, people who run the government won't suffer. It'll be the everyday Iranians who won't have access to food or to medicines, and we'll get America being blamed, as we were in Iraq, for the death of 600,000 or 1 million children. It's really a counterproductive thing. It doesn't hurt the people who are actually the evildoers, if you will. It hurts the average Iranian.
What are the chances of military action? Is Prime Minister Netanyahu likely to employ some sort of a surgical strike on this nuclear reactor or whatever it is, sort of like what he or his government did with Iraq? And if that happens, would the United States get involved? And if it does happen, would he need the permission of the United States first? What's likely? What's the scenario there, Michael?
I don't think it could be like when they hit the Iraqis, because the Iranians went to school on that lesson. Their industry is spread out across the country, their facilities. Israel is a good air force. It can't take out the nuclear industry. And, of course, the first thing that would happen in an attack would be the price of oil would go through the roof and we'd be back in a recession. Can Netanyahu do it without our permission? Absolutely. The Republican Party is turned into just a big mouthpiece for Israel. So he would have immediate support if he attacked it. You know, you watch McCain, you watch Lindsey Graham. They never saw a war they didn't like, Judge. So it could be done.
Is Michael Scheuer going to find himself agreeing with the President of the United States? Is President Obama likely to say to Prime Minister Netanyahu, not so fast, because we're in a recession and I'm running for re-election and I don't want to have to take sides and I don't want oil going through the roof?
Well, I would say to the President, this is none of our business. If the Iranians in Israel want to go to war, let them go, Judge. This doesn't have anything to do with us. This is a time for non-intervention. The president should just simply say to Netanyahu, it's all yours, buddy. If you like war and you want war, you go right ahead and do it. But the cavalry's not coming. The cavalry's staying right here.
No president of the United States, since Israel was founded in 1948, has adopted that attitude. And all of them, Republicans and Democrats, have basically said, come to us first. Has this paternalistic attitude of the United States towards Israel helped Israel or hurt Israel in the long run?
Oh, it's killed the Israelis, sir. They could have taken care of the Palestinian problem militarily long ago if we had kept our big mouths shut and our nose out of their business. The non-intervention is the answer here, Judge. What's interesting about the American supporters of Israel is they will eventually sign Israel's death warrant. The discussion in Israel right now, according to the Israeli media, there is no consensus to attack Iran. But the American supporters of Israel want war. Why do they want it? Because they live in North America, their kids aren't on the firing line, and their money is safe, at least for the time being, in American banks.
Got it. Got it. Michael Scheuer, always a pleasure. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Judge.
Up next, I'll tell you how the government uses